everybody, and welcome back to TRAXX Momentum. We're 11:15 in the second hour of the show, and on Mondays, our special interview feature comes to you by way of Health on TRAXX, and I'm your host, Anil, on the mic, and we're going to give you a scoop on something that concerns all of us. Today on the show, we're going to talk about hormonal imbalance, and hormones is something that is very important because they play a large part in our lives. It affects our moods, our blood sugar levels, our our blood pressure, metabolism, reproduction, you name it. They play a vital role. And some of the common hormones we hear, probably it's testosterone or estrogen or progesterone. And we've researched a lot about dopamine hacks, perhaps. And to shed some light on that and give us a better perspective on hormones and all of us, I have in the studios a IHS-certified advanced hormone therapy, a hormone doctor, and also the CEO of SkyHill Clinic, Dr. Linda Mat Hassin. Good morning, Doctor.
Very good morning, Anil.
How are you doing today?
Good, great.
Great, I can see that. How was your weekend? Great?
Even superb.
Okay, awesome. And we're going to talk about hormones today. So first things first, Doctor, give us a perspective. What are hormones and how does it differ between men and women?
Wow, thank you so much, listeners. Right. So when we talk about the hormones, the word itself maybe triggers a lot of women more than men, maybe.
Yeah.
Right, to start with.
Sure.
So, because women has been exposing or heard about hormone word itself since they were young.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to a clinic or doctors when you have period pain, examples, and you were told you have hormone imbalance. My questions is what we have done about it.
Right.
So that's just so much more introduction. So what the hormones is all about, Anil, you have a good perspective just now. Yes, it varies from all the aspects. It is the best or giving functions to our body, balancing functions. So what are they actually? They are chemicals. They are wonderful chemicals that produce in the gland in the body. So let's say we have a gland, we have a factory, let's say. We have a factory that producing bread maybe. So their main ingredients or product is the bread.
Right.
So it's just like the hormones. They have a gland, so the factory who producing it, and the hormones must be transferred all for the body's metabolism or body functions. Examples, Anil, hormone thyroid. Where is the hormone thyroid? Our gland in the body, let's say. Where is that?
On our neck, below our chin. Yeah.
So basically, this is a gland of we call thyroid gland.
Okay.
It's most important body's gas pedal. Let's say we are accelerating, we are driving a car, we need to press the accelerator.
Right.
So that's how important are women's or our hormones functions in the body. So when you mentions about what are they actually, they have to work in orchestra. Let's say a song, you must be orchestrate fully harmony and symphony.
Right. So
that's
hormones,
important.
they work in unison.
Yes. So that's another keyword for hormones.
Right.
And what's between men and women? Well, we know men, the most important hormones for men is the one and only, which is testosterone. Yeah. The king of hormone, I will name it. So for women, there's many more because this is what my seafood taught us, doctors in Malaysia. Let's say you have a panel or board. They have more switches from women compared to men.
Right.
So it doesn't mean women are complex, no, because just because we're unique.
Right.
So
not because they're from Mars.
Not really. On that note, on that special note, because of women are so unique, we got to really handle with care of women's hormones.
Okay.
Compared to men, as I said, men has just one switch on the board, on the panel board, which is just testosterone.
Right.
It's the king of hormone for men.
Okay.
So that's more or less, the introductions of what the hormones are all about. I hope it helps for all the listeners.
Absolutely. Now let's talk levels, hormone levels. Let's do ladies first. What's the telltale or rather the ballpark figure of considered normal hormone levels in women?
Thank you, Anil. Usually, as we as public would love to know what our hormones level. Okay, in general, Anil, hormones must be optimum. It just cannot be functions normal range.
Okay.
Well, in general, we accept that because, you have a normal range from 1 to 5 examples.
Okay.
But we are talking about preventions on hormones in one person's, we all talking about optimum level now. So we not giving to just accepting your normal range, which is just a bell curve concept. We want us to be in optimum level.
Right.
That's the first keyword. And second is balance. So just about women's hormone, estrogen and progesterone, it must be in a balanced ratio. So exactly what I'm trying to say, even in the hormones, the stress hormone then. So the keyword here that I would love to explain or put the understanding together to the viewers, the listeners, is about optimum and balanced hormones.
Okay. And can you give us an indication of what are some of the medical conditions that can arise from
This
hormonal
is important.
imbalance?
You mentioned few, in fact, in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's actually ranges
Okay.
from a woman itself, from chronic unexplained fatigue, hair fall, insomnia.
Okay.
It may also happen in men, right? And weight gain or difficult to lose weight. Or for women, of course, irregular period. When we talk about irregular period, everyone knows that, well, I may have imbalanced hormones in women's perspective. How about mood?
Yeah.
And decisions making. How about feeling depressed? How about feeling anxious then? It's also affecting one person's when we have imbalanced hormones. And the most feared is the cancers and diabetes and hypertension. So it has a huge range, Anil. So back then, my Sifu would say, each and every society each of every of us in the society having imbalanced hormones. So that's how here we got to thank you for the listeners for your awareness for this time to start with. And of course, we just don't want to just talk about it, and we have to do something, the power or actions after this.
Yeah, okay. And then just to shine the spotlight a little bit on men, doctor, how important is having a balanced hormonal?
I let that question come from a man.
Yeah,
Come
of
on.
course. Yeah,
Right.
I speak
We
for the
can
many men
discuss.
out there. Yes.
We can discuss that further.
Yeah.
I hope that, we have enough time to do this for this morning.
Briefly,
But
yeah.
anyhow, as we mentioned, this Mr. T is testosterone are so much important, not just towards sexual functions or what people in Malaysia or all of men would think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying just men, because women also think, well, I thought testosterone is just for sexual functions. I thought it's just that. I'm afraid you're wrong, because the testosterone, which is the king of hormone in a man, also helps men in decisions making.
Right.
You have to be not to be in hesitancy. You have to be not in the low mood. You have to be in the high drives,
Okay.
the high motivations.
Right.
So important, right, Anil? If you have
Very
to make
important.
decisions,
Very
you want to be
important.
here, you want
Especially
to do
when
this.
I'm sitting behind the DJ console being a DJ. Yeah, I need a lot of that testosterone. Yeah.
Decisions making, we are making every other second.
Yeah.
So with that, the powerful or the strength of testosterone need for men, of course, on top of the heart, which is not to be forgotten, which is number one killer in Malaysia, is still heart attack, Anil.
Heart attack.
Yeah, not other diseases that we may be worried, like I would say the COVID or cancers. I would repeat, number one killer in Malaysia, still heart attack. So for men who need to have a good and strong heart, make sure your testosterone is powerful and strong enough.
Okay. Thank you very much for that punctuating message on testosterone and how important that is for men. Today I'm speaking to Dr. Linda Hassin. She is a IHS certified advanced hormone therapy specialist, a hormone doctor, and also the CEO of SkyHill Clinic. And today we're speaking about hormonal imbalances. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back after the break, we'll find out how hormonal imbalances are diagnosed and how it can be treated right here on Health on TRAXX. I'll be back. And Health on Tracks resumes right here on Tracks Momentum, the place to be on a Monday morning, right on the airwaves for everything concerning your health and your well-being. I'm Anil on the mic, and joining me in the studios today, I have our special guest, Dr. Linda Hassin. She is a IHS certified advanced hormone therapist, a hormone doctor, and also as the CEO of SkyHill Clinic. Dr. Linda, welcome back to Health on Tracks.
Thank you.
All right. So, Doctor, just a while ago before the break, we spoke about, the medical conditions that can result from hormonal imbalances. We understood the difference of hormones between men and women. Now, talk to us about how can hormonal imbalances be diagnosed, and also what are some of the treatments out there?
Right, thank you. So basically, we all doing our yearly medical checkups. Annually, I'm pretty much sure that we're doing medical checkups like cholesterol, liver, kidneys, like what we usually do. However, we're missing one important element here, which is the hormone levels. So it comes in the advanced panel. So when we say that in advanced panel, whereby we need to ask for it.
Right.
And the awareness comes from us, the patients, ourselves. We ownership our own health. So from that note,
Okay.
all right? So basically, it comes from a normal medical checkup, just like you do the blood test, simple as that. So go to your doctor and advise or seek a treatment, or we call it the panel for the hormone blood test. That's
Okay.
number one. Hormone blood test can be measured through saliva also, Anil. That's a little bit advanced in Malaysia.
I see.
So we do, those were the days, I would say pretty much 5 years ago, I've sent saliva samples to Australian lab.
Right.
I'm afraid it was very expensive at that point of time, but it's accurate, and it also gives us a lot more how to give one's management.
Okay.
So in Malaysia, you can still assess just doing the normal blood test. It's just that the doctor need to know how to interpret and how we go about it, because talking about management is another way to discuss, because it's all about personalized and individualized. So that's pretty much new in Malaysia also, I would say, because we just don't give you one solutions for all women and men.
Okay.
Because what you need, what other men need, may not be the same. All right? So the dose, that testosterone example that Anil need may not be the same as what my husband need, examples, right? So this is what we call it personalized, and it is based, tailor-made to your needs, that individual needs. So it's available in Malaysia, right?
So give us some examples of the treatment that is available.
What do offer?
Yeah.
All right. It's actually called bioidentical hormone replacement therapy.
Okay. Right.
So that's what's available, because it's not just synthetic hormones, it's not just normal drug treatments. It comes with a natural isomolecular to your body. So it is made for you. What's the dose personalized and how much you give, I'll prescribe that. I'll choose that. So that's in Malaysia, we call it compounding pharmacies, which is doing that. And this is licensed under our Ministry of Health. And on that note, I'll prescribe what you need.
Right.
So that's available. All right. It's just that we may not heard about it. I'm afraid it's available.
It is available in Malaysia. Right.
Yeah.
Since you touched on bioidentical hormone therapy, I just want to highlight this to our listeners. Dr. Linda right here is actually a leading medical doctor who is also pioneering bioidentical hormone therapy. So I assume there's no better person that we can have in the studios today to shed light on that. You're welcome. The pleasure's ours. Now, another question that may be lingering in the minds of our listeners, Dr. Linda, is how can we sort of enhance the hormone levels in our body naturally without resorting to any form of medication, probably as the first level of...
Good question. So that's why we should embark at it from the first place, right? So we used to have a quick fix whereby we want to have something fast. But I'm afraid I put it steps in balancing hormones, all right? I put it in balancing hormones. There are few steps.
Okay.
First and foremost, you got to watch out what our food and diet, because this nutrition, it doesn't sound miracle or difficult, and yet the solutions is all there.
Yeah.
So choose your diet, choose your food. Examples, avoiding inflammatory foods. What are inflammatory foods that we heard about? Sugars, trans fat, it's been said, it's not just something new or fancy or difficult to do, right? And know your food like you do consumes about probiotics, good food of probiotics, because gut is a second brain, Anil, right?
Yeah.
We have to preserve our second brain, right? On top of our first brain.
That's why they always say, trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Trust your gut feeling, all right? So we have to take care of our gut. So there's a huge topic about it, how we want to improve our gut health, all right? Because it may relate to other issues like autoimmune, chronic diseases like psoriasis and all that, all right? And what else? Fiber. Women need good of fiber. 30 grams of fiber daily. How much we eat fiber a day.
Yeah.
So that's few steps that you can do. Sleeps early. Do you know that when we need to sleep, we are rejuvenating ourselves. We know that.
Yeah.
And we are producing a hormone called IGF-1, which is the young hormones at night. Which is at 12 to 1. So if you miss that the golden time, we're not young anymore, listeners. I'm so sorry to say that. So catch the moment of being young and stay young because it's producing growth hormone. It's important for longevity. Yeah,
having a youthful vibrant
please,
look.
We need that. Women need that most. So when we say that, okay, can I sleep to get beauty? Yes, please.
Okay.
Please sleep enough.
Just to touch on that, Doctor, it's interesting because this morning I shared on radio about an article that I came across about how important it is to get morning light because it helps.
I hear you.
Yeah,
what is it? What is it the morning light is all about?
What it says was, maybe you can put some
add on a little bit.
Add on a little bit. So what psychiatrists say, or rather doctors say, is that when you get up in the morning, before 8 a.m. or by 8 a.m. in the morning, get some morning light because that will help your circadian rhythm to alter itself so that you can go to sleep better during the night, number one. And number two, your body will have the, serotonin hormones that it needs so that you can stay happy throughout the day. Give us a, myth or
some
not.
Insight?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. These are all, we call it the vitamins that's been given by God to us in the universe.
Yeah.
Which is vitamin D.
Yeah.
It's a free D vitamin is a free vitamin, and yet maybe those who not known is also a pro hormones.
Right.
So when we say it's a pro hormones, it also work as hormones in the body. So that it will improve our other circadian hormones that Anil just mentioned, which is the cortisol, which is the stress hormones. Cortisol is the hormones that produce in the small little gland just above the kidney. Right? So that cortisol need to be, in a good cycle in the morning, as now our cortisol should be enough. Compared to nighttime, cortisol should be shut down. So that circadian, the pattern of automatically happen in our own body, need the sunlight to happen. You just hit it right? And on that note, we need to have a good melatonin, which is the sleeping hormone, to keep us sleeping at night. So we don't need sleeping pills anyhow.
Right.
We just need to expose to morning sun. That's why our elderly lady, parents, whoever that we have who has having troubling sleeping at night, when they're not exposed to sun at all.
Right.
We just kept them in the quiet and dark room. Please wheel them out. I know they're in a wheelchair, in a bedridden as such. Wheel them out to get the free vitamin.
Yeah, morning sunlight, very important. And just to backtrack a little bit, you were talking about food habits as well, Doctor.
Wow.
I, for one, I love to eat tofu. And someone once told me that, for a man, having too much tofu is not good for you because tofu, protein, and then it's got estrogen in that.
Yes.
Is that true, Doctor?
Not too much, It is a good source of protein after all. It's just plant protein.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid in men, just know your two important hormones that we talk about, the testosterone, the male hormone, and we got to balance with estrogen. So nowadays, modern man has a little bit more boobs.
Man boobs.
Man boobs. On that note, what had really happened is the estrogen a little bit more in the body compared to the testosterone.
Right.
It's just about it, all right?
Okay.
So know your level so that, well, if you know it's a little bit on the higher side of the estrogen, so you know that you're not supposed to eat a little bit more estrogenic food diet, as you mentioned.
Okay.
It's not wrong saying it. To me, know your numbers, Anil. Know your parameters. It's
Okay.
easy to discuss rather than giving blanket advice.
Yeah. And at least now I don't have it every day. Just once a week, I restrict my tofu.
I like that.
Now let's steer our attention towards a field in medicine that you are pioneering, doctor, which is bioidentical hormone therapy. So talk to us about this hormone replacement therapy and how it works, and maybe share with us your milestones that you've achieved ever since you embarked on this journey, doctor.
MashaAllah. All right. It's not an overnight journey, Anil. Because being a doctor, I myself has been exposed to a lot of health issues. I'm just like you ladies, the listening, all the listeners, of course. We've been embarked with a lot of stress, environmental toxins. Imbalanced food, bad diet, and stress. Work-wise. Right. So on that note, I choose this industry. Because whatever we are talking is about wellness or being healthy. We're not just seeing doctors when you are sick. That's still acceptable. When you are not well, we will visit a doctor. But in my industry, in this, what we call it, in wellness industry, especially embracing or so-called advocating women's hormones, balancing women's hormones and men, of course, it's so much excitement of work to do when we see your patients smiling, and the most important, Anil, two important that I'll look into, which is high quality of life and increased productivity.
Yeah.
After all, these are the two importance that we'll look up.
Right.
What else in life that you want? You want a better quality of life, right? You don't want to be just lying down, of course, and you want to be higher productivity in your career.
Yeah.
We have to have good life. We have to have good healthy state. On that note. So by doing this, I feel so much excitement, and I would say this journey would help me to help more women and men out there.
I'm sure.
I love what I'm doing now.
Absolutely. And it gives us great pleasure to be part of this journey on this Monday morning. We'll jump in for another quick break. When we come back, doctor, you'll tell us on the lifestyle changes we can adapt so that we can have better hormonal functions in our body. I'm today speaking to Dr. Linda Hassin. She's an IHS certified in advanced hormone therapist, a hormone doctor, and also the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of SkyHill Clinic. And today on Health on TRAXX, we're talking about hormonal imbalances. Keep it right here. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back, everybody. It's Health on Tracks right here on TRAXX Momentum. I'm your host, Anil, on the mic. Bright and early on this Monday morning, I'm speaking to Dr. Linda Hassin. She's a certified advanced hormone therapist, a hormone doctor, and also the CEO of the SkyHill Clinic. And she's also one of the leading medical doctors in the country pioneering bioidentical hormone therapy. Dr. Linda, welcome back to Health on Tracks.
Thank you.
Now, we gave a teaser for our listeners on lifestyle changes that can impact hormonal health. So tell us about some of the lifestyle alterations we can make, Doctor.
Right. So we talk about diet so much just now, right? On the food, that we're choosing the food because of that. And sleep, we talk about it.
Sure.
And we talk about managing stress. So it's also a huge topic, stress not to be left out on the managing stress itself. So usually what we do, we can manage stress accordingly when we know what the bodies need. All right. So we end up to be in the depression, in a depressive mood. We end up to be in an anxiety mood. That's one of the most mental health issues have been talked about. So again, when you know how to manage your stress, I'll call it mood enhancer.
Mood enhancer.
Yeah. There's about 3 or 4, I would say, a great mood enhancer. There's other tips for those listeners out there, right? Especially in TRAXXfm, right? Okay. So basically, first we talk about sunlight. Second, about the cortisol. Please manage your cortisol. How do we manage cortisol, especially the stress hormone, so that it's not going down under the drain?
Yeah.
Right. So, what time you enjoy our coffee, listeners? What time usually?
For me, it's early in the morning. When
Yes,
I get up.
that's a little bit difficult to change. So let me do this. Right. Please enjoy our coffee, which is got high loading in caffeine later in life, or maybe later in the noon, let's say.
Right.
Because what happened if you drink coffee in the morning, it just shut down our cortisol, which is supposed to help us to sustain our stress in the morning.
Right.
So don't do that. It's just a quick fix. When you just drink coffee, you just feel that you feel good on that day, and you're not doing it right, actually.
Okay.
So today, this year, 2024, we just not do it. Let's do it right. Okay? So basically, not enjoy your coffee in the morning itself. Please take it after lunch.
So
or maybe
postpone
4
that.
o'clock. Yeah, postpone it. Right? So that's simple to improve your cortisol balance as such, right? That's about coffee. And what else to manage the stress hormone? Because when we just don't sleep at night, the cortisol is not producing enough in the morning.
Right.
Right? And what else the cortisol need to do? This small little gland, it need good vitamins like vitamin C.
Right.
Yeah, this is small lifestyle changes that we can embark. Like just consume your vitamin C.
Okay.
Yeah. So I always been get questions from viewers or anyone that, well, do I need my vitamin C? Yes. Women, a man, I would say, cannot make vitamin C.
Okay.
So let's enjoy vitamin C from outside.
Okay. And Dr. Linda is going to give us another bonus on something we can do to enhance our hormones, Doctor. Come on. Yeah.
Okay. So what else that you need to know on the stress? And last and not least, of course, your exercise.
Exercise.
Yeah. What is a small little effort, especially for men, is resistance training. That's one examples that, well, you come to me when you have done all this, all right? And then I'll fix your hormones later, all right? So that's why you please do all those, the diet, the nutrition, stress management, sleep, and exercise. Okay, come on, men need to carry weights.
Weights, lift
because
weights.
this is resistance training that helps your muscles to build more muscle and strength. So what are 2 important that you need to build your muscles, Anil? Number 1 is you're doing the
Weights, okay.
Second, you need the protein.
Protein, yeah.
Third, of course, you need your testosterone.
Testosterone levels.
You need these 3 to be entangled.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Now, very quickly, Doctor, we are short in time.
Please.
There are about 50 different types of hormones. I researched on this. Now, can you just quickly classify for us what are happy hormones and what are unhappy hormones? Very quickly.
All right, so that would be the last question on that note. Okay, there are 4 important happy hormones to start with. All right, you can get it easily in the net for that note, but it's for discussions purpose. So we have dopamine, which is a reward hormone.
Okay.
When you're sitting here listening to music, you are rewarding ourselves.
Okay.
So huge of dopamine being secreted. That's number one. So oxytocin is a love hormone. When we touch someone, when we hug someone in the morning, you can hug your kids in the morning itself, and you can hug your spouse and your family member or even your staff this morning to make sure that there's enough oxytocin, so the love hormones. Then next will be serotonin, which is the serotonin is usually not difficult to understand. It's actually just being you understand how to do the serotonin, which is the good mood hormone, like you meditate, go into the sun. Last and not least is the endorphin, whereby you come under the sun, also you improve the painkiller, also called endorphin. And you try your yoga, is also increase your endorphin. So that's not difficult, Anil. There's a lot more being discussed in the net about this happy hormone, how to hack our happy hormones.
Yeah. And there are lots of rhetoric out there, lots of articles out there that can be researched on
Correct.
how we can hack our happy hormones.
Correct.
And yes, I have to say, you left us on a very happy note. We're very enlightened on
Thank you.
the importance of hormones. Dr. Linda Hassin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
On TRAXX. Any final words before we let you
Yes, last and not least, Anil, getting old is mandatory. However, feeling old is optional. We are all aging. So I would love to say this: love yourselves in order for you to love others.
Okay.
Please, women especially, they always prioritize other first. I know you're such a very, what do you call this, unique creature for women. But please love yourself first. Do your hormones, know your hormone, test your hormones especially, and you end up in a good doctor so that you can manage your hormones accordingly. 2 keywords: balance and optimize.
Okay. Balance and optimize. And like you said, I like what you said. Getting old is mandatory, but feeling old is optional. You should patent that, doctor. That's a good slogan for your clinic.
Thank
anyway,
you.
Just a quick shout out to all of our listeners. Rifli says good morning to you, doctor. Azura Ghani, Aina Rizal, Ronnie Seat, and also Rose Teo says good morning, Anil, and your guest, Dr. Linda Hassin. Very informative conversation today on Health on TRAXX. I have to attest to that. Dr. Linda, you have a lovely day, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me today. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And that was Dr. Linda Hassin. Today we spoke about hormonal imbalances on Health on TRAXX. If you missed out on this conversation, worry not. You can always catch the replay via our official Facebook page and also our official YouTube channel at TRAXXfm RTM. Time on the clock right now is 10 minutes to 12, which means in about 10 minutes, that's right, we'll be crossing over to the RTM News Center for the 12 o'clock news bulletin, and then I'll be back for the third hour of TRAXX Momentum. Right now, here's Let It Flow by Tony Braxton, a special request by Dr. Linda.